question.
Is this a closer match than the one down there?
Yeah. We kind of opened it up at the end down there.
Coach, as you said, you opened it up there. It was sort of the similar situation until the last 6 minutes. This one, they stayed close. You didn't hit free throws like you would have liked, I'm sure. Well, what was the difference at 6 minutes here compared to down there?
Well, the truth of the matter is to go 24 for 41 from the foul line and turn it over 18 times and still win is really pretty remarkable. Obviously Dennis played very well. I think if we could pass the ball better, I think he could have got 40. He did a great job of sealing, and I thought he was open quite a few more times than what we actually did get him the ball.
Got another strong game out of Aaron Harris. Nice little stretch he's got going. Can you talk about his play a little bit and having that role as a freshman out there?
Yeah, the battle is to play every play. And in the first half, Aaron was really loose with the ball and turned it over, and I thought came back the second half and really responded. The good thing about Aaron, he's not one of those guys who pouts and sulks, and he keeps playing. I think that what we've got to be able to get across and get better at is you have to play every play. You can't take plays off, and we take plays off. We get a little bit of run going, and then because we don't play every play, they take advantage of you. I mean, people at this level are too good to not play every play.
Did you anticipate this kind of production out of him at the start of the season?
I didn't know. I mean, I thought he was a good player, and I thought he was going to be a really good player. I mean, and how do you know? If we got Jabari and Gary back, and really for that matter, AB, and stayed in practice with us all year. So you would think those guys would be a little bit ahead just because of their experience factor. But he's learned pretty quickly.
You played Harris and Henderson together for a longer stretch than I remember. Do you like those two on the floor?
I'd love to play them. They've got to do a better job defensively, and they've got to pass the ball better. I mean, I think you noticed when Dennis didn't get the ball when they were in the game together, and Dennis has got to get the ball. They've got to learn. They've got to continue to work and expand their games. But putting those two guys on the floor, the way they both have the ability to make shots is where we got to get to. But at the same time, they got to be able to throw it to the big fella whenever he's open to, and guard their guy. Guys are just we're very inquisitive today, aren't you? I mean, I'm just amazed at how many questions that you have.
Was it difficult to make that decision? Because obviously you went on a run when they were together in the first half, but just as obviously Dennis was, pretty much unguardable when he got the ball down low. Was it tough?
Well, I mean, let's be honest. Those of you who have watched all the games know that the guy who's thrown the ball to Dennis the best lately has been Gary Brown. Gary Brown's our best defender, and Gary Brown has done the best job of getting Dennis the ball. And so it's a tough thing to take Gary out, and when he's the guy who's delivering the ball to Dennis. And the other thing is, when you're 24 for 41, Gary is also an 85% free throw shooter. So it's a matter of what do you think's the best thing to do? I mean, I let Gary in the second half did a really good job defensively, and if you think back about it, the guy who got Dennis the ball the most was Gary Brown. He's the guy that we've kind of counted on to get him the ball. I can't play four guards.
Coach, their last possession, were you sure they were probably going to try to shoot a three? What was your?
I don't know that they absolutely wanted to shoot a three. I wanted to switch everything. We switched every cross, and I think they ran that close the gate deal with those two guys, and we switched it out, and did a good job of denying the shooter coming off of that. And then the guy got. I mean, just looking at the reaction of the bench, that's not what they wanted. But we took away what they really wanted to do by switching everything out. I just wanted to switch every cross and try to put enough pressure on the ball that, that they didn't shoot a three and make it. I mean, in worst case scenario, let's go to overtime and try to win.
Were you surprised they took the timeout there with 9 seconds? It seemed like they had some numbers to potentially get a fast break there off the rebound.
I don't know. You have to ask him. I don't know. I have a hard enough time coaching my team.
In Wichita last year's really positive reaction from the fans, their fans toward you. Any kind of expectations going into Bramlage now for the?
Justin, in all honesty, that's about it. That's probably, if I had a list of 100 things to worry about, that might be 112. I got one day to get ready for a pretty good team, so I can try to, make sure that I give our guys all the resources that they need to have a chance to win, and that's, I don't know. I mean, if they don't, they don't. What am I going to do? The truth of the matter is, I've been gone for 6 years now, so unless those guys are on Jay Jacobs' plan of graduation, they probably gone, the people that were there.
K-State's defensive style, is it unique at all to what else you've seen throughout the Big 12? Or is it...
No, I thought we played pretty well against it here, to be honest with you. They're very physical. I mean, they're very physical. They try to, push you out of the post rather than front you, but we try to front. But Bruce is a good coach, Bruce is a good coach, and, obviously Frank did a tremendous job with those guys when he was there. So, they've been coached by two guys that know how to coach.
Talk a little bit about the coach and the psychologist, and in particular with Dennis. He said this year has been a tough year, and sometimes people were trying to drag him down, and he said that you were like the only person he could trust, really. And I know you yelled at him and yelled as much, but yet you won him over and were able to keep him going.
Well, Dennis and I have always had a really good relationship, we had a good relationship when he didn't speak English. I don't know what the hell he was saying, but, he always hugged me, so I thought, no, that was all right. I didn't know. But, no, I've been very tempted to save all these letters I get to, the guys that coach better than I do and know more about Dennis than I know, and our other guys, and maybe just take a month and go evaluate their place of work and what kind of job they're doing, and then write them a letter about what kind of job they're doing, what kind of job their employees are doing. Or if they have employees, or, in some of those cases, probably, how well they cook the French fries at McDonald's. But, you can overcook those. So, I don't pay attention to that stuff. Some of them really are just, some of them are kind of laughable, and some of them that you just look at the guy and you just know the guy's never played basketball and doesn't know what he's talking about, and you go on. The truth of the matter is, in a lot of instances, how are we going to score without Dennis? And the other thing that Dennis does is he gets other people open because they have to help. They just have to help, and I think Aaron Harris has been a recipient of Dennis, making more than one guy have to guard him. we've gotten shots. I mean, it's not like we haven't gotten shots. I mean, you guys watch us. We've gotten shots. We haven't made enough of them, but we've gotten shots, and he is a huge, huge part of that. And Bob, I'll tell you the other thing that people don't appreciate. He's our best guy at helping on ball screens. He's our only big that can trap a ball screen. Does he do it all the time? No, but I mean, the truth is, we ask him to do a whole lot of stuff now.
Point though is that you could have got down and maybe quit a little bit or sold through whatever. And
Well-
it seems like for whatever reason you found some kind of key to not only keep them going but get them going late this year.
Well, he came in and we talked for whatever, 25 minutes, a half hour. But I mean, Dennis and I have had a lot of, I mean, we've had talks for a couple hours sometimes. He's come over to my house, and I remember sitting out back sometimes, sitting there and talking about, a lot of different things. I think that at the end of the day, Bob, Dennis, he's not a quitter. Everybody gets frustrated. I mean, I may be at the head of the class when it comes to frustration, but he's not a quitter. That's not Dennis, and he's just Dennis's problem is Dennis is probably too talented. He's too smart. He picks up a gun, he goes and hunts, and he's very proficient at that. He's shot a wild boar, he's been deer hunting, he's been coon hunting, he's learning how to fish. He's a talented guy and enjoys a lot of things. And, obviously plays the guitar very well, and he's a talented guy. And, I think sometimes there's too many things for him to do. But he's not a quitter. And I never really worried about Dennis quit.
Anything else?
Coach, how much of a concern is the turnovers? I mean, the first game against Texas Tech was 18.
Well, we only had 36 in 2 games. If it got to 40, might be pretty concerned. But honestly, I mean, what do we have? Five illegal screens at Baylor. We were worse today than we were at Baylor, in all honesty. Now, the problem at Baylor was we just threw it to them. That there were too many live ball turnovers. I don't know. Justin, we've been good at it. I mean, I don't know where we are now, Mess, but statistically, we were right towards the top of the Big 12 in the least amount of turnovers and turnover margin and all that other kind of stuff. And I don't know. I said this on the radio, when we have worked extremely, extremely hard on, curls and presenting yourself on a curl and presenting yourself on a back cut, and because we've missed so many layups. We've missed this astronomical amount of layups, and a lot of it is because we just didn't present ourselves, and we didn't get our head on the rim, and we're kind of shooting it as we're trying to figure out where the rim is and those kind of things. And then we're up 6, I believe, and we make a back cut, and we deliver the ball finally, and the guy's not even looking. And that blows my mind. It blows my mind after the time that we've spent on that. It's what the hell are you asking me for? Ask them. I don't know. You keep asking me what they think. How do I know what they think?
During all the games, how many times have you walked off this season feeling good about the team's performance?
I don't count that either.
Can you remember any?
I've told you this, and you don't listen very well. When I was a kid, and we were going down to Denison to play, and Phil picked me up, and I looked, and he didn't have a rear view mirror. I said, Phil, you don't have a rear view mirror in this truck? He said, boy, we ain't going backwards. And that's how I've lived my life. This will be over with, and if you stop asking questions, Kansas State's on at 7. All right. Thanks.